Hi guys, I'm Buddy Loner, also known as the Creative Globetrotter. I'm traveling the world since December 2014 and this time I go back to my roots, Indonesia, my country of birth. An amazing journey what took me to ancient temples, nature parks and wildlife, different cities and local folklore. This is part 2 of a travel guide of my Indonesia trip. In this episode I'm telling you how to travel Java. So let's kick off! We start where the last episode ended in Medan, Sumatra. From Medan we flew to Soekarno-Hatta Jakarta airport. Our plan was travel from West Java all the way to East Java. In Jakarta we visit Kota Jakarta, also known as Old Town of Jakarta, also known as Batavia. Kota Jakarta is nice to visit with different bars, museums and buildings from the Dutch colonial era. This is the Dutch colonial area from 350 years ago. You see the governor's house, or in Dutch, het gouverneurskantoor. Of course, the really famous Batavia Cafe, or everybody knows, Batavia is the old name of Jakarta, the Dutch name. Good to be here, anyway, in the capital of my country of birth. Sunda Kelapa is one of the oldest docks of Jakarta port, and Jakarta, or Batavia, is founded here where the Portuguese colonists built their first houses. You can still visit it and see the local fishermen working. Also, do not forget the Presidential Palace, the National Monument and Menteng Pulo, military cemetery. One of the darkest pages of Indonesian and Dutch history are the colonizations period. They've been through a lot, those Indonesians, so a brief history lesson. First you got the different islands, then the Portuguese came. Dutch East Trading Company kicked ass and established the first settlement, during the ruling for 350 years. In 1942 the Japs came and ruled for 3 years. The British and Commonwealth forces won against the Japanese Empire during the Second World War, but have forced to leave. The Dutch tried to keep the colony in the post-war period. Indonesia and the Indonesians fight for their freedom, and finally they become independent and also known as the Republic of Indonesia. Whew. In between visiting the attractions we had a lot of traffic jam. Actually, it is always traffic jam in Jakarta. Cars, petjaks and scooters. Remember the Sumatra episode? Even more scooters. Scooters and scooters. After spending 3 days in Jakarta, it was time to hit the road again and ride 3-hour trip to Bandung. Remember this guy, Mr. Balas? The best guys ever? Well, he arranged all the other drivers on Java. This is our second driver, Mr. Romani. He's number Rocky, you know, Rocky Balboa. You like that? In Bandung we had a cultural afternoon of angklung music, wayang and Javanese dance. The next day we had for the surroundings. One of the main highlights was Tangkuban Perahu, the local volcano of Bandung. Ah yes, I want to remind you to take some warm clothes with you up on the mountain. It can be very windy and cold. You can walk 30 minutes down to another crater, Kawah Domas. Kawah Domas are muddy hot pools to put your feet in, or cook your eggs, what the local people do. Covering your body with mud seems to be good for your skin and body, so a lot of tourists do that. Some do the entire body, some just the feet and have massage afterwards. We continue our trip down to the villages and to the tea plantations where the local people are doing their job by picking the leaves for the tea. In this part of Indonesia, they still work by hand, while for example in Malaysia, they use machinery. It was time to leave West Java, so we took the train from Bandung to Yogyakarta, also known as Jogja, an 8-hour trip. From travel experience, I prefer a train rather than a bus. Depends on the connection, of course. A train is more relaxed and you have a tremendous view. Many travelers recommend the trip from west to East Java, and so do I. From the high mountains to the savanna-like countryside in the east.
Zitten er weer in. Alle kleintjes autootjes monteren en dan get in the train right now.
After a good rest in Yogyakarta, we left the next day to see the main highlight of the entire island, Borobudur.
Today we have our third driver.
Are we forgetting something, buddy? The name of the third driver is Mr. Dhoni. Apparently he had a total blackout. We passed by one of the active volcanoes, Mount Merapi. The bridge we passed was in 2014 an overpass full of lava. After 2 hours you saw one of the incredible wonders of mid-Java. Borobudur is a Buddhist temple and has been built between the year 750 and 850. It is an UNESCO heritage site since 1991.
An amazing part of the culture here in Java. Borobudur, I've been in Angkor Wat before, but it's a bit smaller. But it's really interesting, the similar style of building, stone sculpture, statues, amazing.
Seems to be one of those statues here. If you see the bell tower, inside is a statue. If you can reach it with your hand, or actually with your right hand, it brings you good fortune. And there are a lot of statues here for each fortune you had in your life. So I'm gonna try it. I have no idea it will be happening in the 20 years I get luck on it. I touched it, so it brings me luck. After Borobudur, we travel to Prambanan.
It's Hinduism style. It looks a little bit more like Angkor Wat, but I've seen in Cambodia 2 years ago. But very impressive.
Angkor Wat again. I should make a new episode for that in the future. After visiting Prambanan, we visit a batik factory. Batik is a typical clothing style from Java, where you use wax and paint as basics for the typical patterns. The silversmith is a nice addition of the tour. If you want to buy some silver, do it in Indonesia because it's cheaper outside Indonesia. From Yogyakarta we travel to Kediri and to visit a local market in Solo.
The interesting insight, if you look at the local market with all the people here, I really like it. It's the way how people live. You can really feel how they cook, how they sell, how to bargain. Well, you can also see.
From Solo we ride over the mountains to Kediri. Kediri in the morning is busy as always. We leave this town to Malang. It just takes 3 hours, not that far. In between places we see a lot of farmers planting their nice rice crops. And finally we reach Malang, and not forget to visit Toko, one of the oldest places here in Malang. And it's really famous about the ice cream, of course about the food. Everything is still from the old days since 1931. From Malang we reach our final destination, my place of birth, Surabaya. We are in Surabaya right now. This is my place of birth. And we have our food driver, Mr. Didi.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Surabaya has a lot to offer. Museums, national monuments and a lot of Dutch colonial and art deco houses. Talking about the Dutch, Indonesian language you have a lot of Dutch words. Some straightly loaned or a bit changed. Even we Dutch have Indonesian words in our language, like lumpia, nasi, nasi goreng and satay. After a busy day in Surabaya, it was time to go to the local barbershop. Not only for a nice haircut, you get also a free massage. I'm done for today. Really nice cut, you see it here. With my dad. Also in the barbershop. So I hope it will be a really nice haircut too.
Đây là ngồi bệtกัน
Good.
đi rồi ta đi đường gì ạ như vậy
The last day we made a trip to Madura Island via the Suramadu Bridge. Due to circumstances we have a new driver and that is Suparto. It is Mr. Suparto, our driver number 5. Oh. Mr. Suparto is a nice driver but also a slow one. Drive 30 kph while you can ride 80 kph on the Suramadu Bridge. Step on please. Thank you. Bukit Kapur Jadi was our destination on Madura Island, a local winery.
I'm just allowed to come here. Well, the Western world in the Netherlands is actually out of the budget to come here within a construction site.
After Madura Island, we went to Joanna Airport and we flew to Surabaya back to Jakarta to travel back to the Netherlands. This was a remarkable and a trip never to forget, to discover about my roots and my country. Thank you for watching and keep an eye on this blog for the future travel guides. If you have any comments or you want to contact me, post below or go to my website, creativglobetrotter.nl.